We have some breaking news that just came out as the Toronto Blue Jays have made a shocking move. And in a move that nobody saw coming, one player in particular is officially gone. We're going to break down exactly who that is, but also discuss an abundance of other moves, including one surrounding Bowden Francis that is extremely intriguing. A ton of moves to go over today, folks. But no one saw this coming. We're going to break all of it down in this episode. But before we get into it all, if you're part of the percentage who aren't subscribed to the channel, this is the place to be for daily Jays content, keeping you up to date with all the latest Jays news. Ladies and gentlemen, this move came out 5-6 minutes ago at the time of recording. So make sure to hit that subscribe button if you're enjoying it. Guys, this came out of absolute nowhere. Now, I made videos on the channel about how they were going to have to make a decision surrounding the bullpen, and I was very confident in the ability that, Ross Atkins has to, hopefully make, I didn't know that they were going to get rid of this player, and let's just dive right into it here. Erik Swanson, folks, has been DFA'd. Now, there is an abundance of other moves I will dive into. Bowen Francis is IL stint. We have an update on why he's doing that. Justin Brule, I have some of his stats, but we're going to focus for a minute now on Erik Swanson. He is no longer a part of the Jays. He is gone. And I actually hinted at this a few days ago in a video that there is a possibility that this happens with how bad he's been. But the reason that this move is shocking is because they had a lot of other avenues they could have took. And most of us thought they would have DFA'd Chad Green, maybe even sent down Braden Fischer, the rookie who's been absolutely electric this season. They decided to not play any games, not mess around whatsoever, and DFA the main return for Teoscar Hernandez of 3 years ago, a guy who helped carry the Jays to the playoffs back in 2023. A fan favorite, Erik Swanson is gone. He won't be returning to the Toronto Blue Jays. Now, he is absolutely going to get picked up by another team. There's no doubt in my mind about that. He's been terrible this season, but he is a veteran guy. He has the stuff. But man, oh man, this came out of nowhere. And again, the main reason it's so surprising, I think most fans would agree that he's been really bad, right? This season, a 15 ERA. There's no doubting that. But what the big deal is here is that most fans thought, myself included, they were going to give him a little bit more, many other chances. Last year, he wasn't great either. Of course, he had the horrible incident with his son in spring training that really threw off his whole spring training. This year, he was dealing with an injury. They didn't give him much room, but I fully respect this move here. And you see here from Thomas Hall, the Jays aren't messing around. They are pulling the plug on Swanson and officially giving Bowden Francis a breather. And we'll dive into the Bowden Francis thing in a minute. Folks, they don't have, now with Bowden Francis gone, they barely have any starters. The bullpen now, you look at the guys who they could have, got rid of. So Jeff Hoffman, Yara Rodriguez, Brendan Little, those three, and Mason Flaherty, those guys are staying. They could have, made the decision to get rid of Chad Green, who's owed a lot more money. Braden Fischer, who's, a rookie. Spencer Turnbull, they clearly value his length, and that's something that's going to be interesting here because they now have 2 starter spots that are open, and you can assume that, Eric Lauer is going to be the guy that, starts, whatever. Regarding the bullpen, they decided to get rid of Swanee. Now, let's appreciate his tenure. So, he's been horrible this year, and he's only played 6 games. They gave him 6 games of really bad ball, right? It was horrible by Swanson, I'll admit that. But they gave him 6 games to figure it out. Last year in 45 games, he had a 5.03 ERA, which was very bad. But if you remember, the second half of last year, in his second half, the last 20 games of his season, sub 3 ERA was really, really good. They did not give him a chance this year to get back to that point. Do I think they should have? I don't really think so either. I don't think the move is bad. I'm just very surprised by it, given the fact that he's been with, been in the MLB for so long. Again, he was the main acquisition in the Seattle Mariners trade back in 2022, 2023, and he was crucial in the 2023 season. 69 games, 2.97 ERA, a phenomenal splitter, a fastball. They decided to pull the plug in something that is a little bit surprising here. I'm truly surprised that they actually did this. And do I respect it? I do. They're not messing around this season. They are going for the win, and they are doing things that we haven't seen from this front office in a while. They're not making the easy decision. They're making the decision that they think is best to make their team win right now. And Swanson has not been good. 15 ERA. He is not helping them win right now. And John Schneider has no trust in his ability. So they're going to keep guys that they do have trust in their abilities. And clearly they have trust in Spencer Turnbull. They have more trust in Chad Green than they do Erik Swanson, which I think is the big, point here is, of course, the salary of Chad Green. Who'd you rather, Chad Green or Erik Swanson? That's the big question. They chose Chad Green. Of course, there's some other factors playing there. I'm very happy they kept Braden Fischer, an optionable rookie. They wanted to keep him up because of how good he has been. You could not, DFA Braden Fischer, right? Send down Braden Fischer. He's been so good that you have to keep him because he's helping the team win. And this is an all-in year. Ross Atkins might not be here after this year. His contract's going to be expired. This is the year to go for the win. And this also, I think, is just a little bit telling about their mindset, especially heading into the trade deadline. Like, they are trying to win. They are done messing around. And shout out to Erik Swanson. Fantastic, by all accounts, fantastic human being, fantastic guy, fantastic teammate. I'm sure, this is going to be felt within the locker room now. But what's also felt in the locker room is you have to win baseball games. And this is a huge series starting tonight. The Yankees are falling off a little bit. The Jays are 1.5 games up in the wild card spot. The second wild card spot, they're in a great spot. You have to take care of business, and hopefully they do that. And also, Bowen Francis has been placed on the 15-day IL with right shoulder impingement. So, Bowen Francis, basically a phantom IL stint from what we're seeing here now. So now they have to deal with literally 3 starters. Now, we'll get into Justin Brule in a minute here. It's going to be interesting. This also might lend some confidence into the fact that, again, Max Scherzer pitches tomorrow for the Bisons. I think Max Scherzer could factor into this team a lot sooner than we thought. I don't know if they send Bowen Francis to the 15-day IL unless they are confident in, Max Scherzer or somebody coming back up. So this is something that kind of got lost in it. And is this a phantom injury? Probably. Maybe he is dealing with something. Maybe that's why he's been so bad. But they did call up Justin Brule as well. They're up from AAA. You look at his big league numbers, real bad. He's not a starter either, so I don't think he's going to factor into being, a starter. At the end of the day, it's just a body. And I think they're waiting for Max Scherzer. And this start tomorrow for Scherzer is going to be absolutely crucial. Start with the Bisons because, again, I keep bringing this up. And this hasn't updated yet because I literally recording this minutes after it happened. Bowen Francis, 5-6 minutes after it happened. Bowen Francis, gone. 15-day IL. Of course, he'll remain with the team. Eric Lauer and Paxton Schultz, I assume those are going to be the 2 guys that piggyback one of these starts, unless they could also convert Spencer Turnbull into a full-time starter in the meantime and have him replace Bowen Francis, and then for the bullpen spot, wait for Max Scherzer to come back. But we also saw, Spencer Turnbull be used in a blowout game against the Phillies the other day. There's a lot of moving pieces here, and you look at the probables. Chris Bassett pitches today. Tomorrow is still to be determined. Do we see Eric Lauer start? Probably. Do we see, there's a Max Scherzer get in, not Wednesday, obviously, because he's pitching for the Bisons, but for the next series. Alek Manoah, Adam Macko starting to come up. It's a crazy time right now because they are so, not disorganized, but they have a ton of holes in their starting pitching. The good news is you're going up against a Diamondbacks team. You can take advantage of their pitching. You should be able to do really good and have some really good offensive games and offensive spurts, but what a crazy, crazy piece of news that just dropped. And I want you all to let me know down below. Are you surprised about the move? Of course, Paxton Schultz is back. Maybe he factors into being, a starter for a little bit there. They tried Braden Fischer in that role for a bit. Didn't really work out. It's going to be absolutely crazy, ladies and gentlemen. As you look at the schedule here, again, you play the Diamondbacks starting today, and then you have a series against the White Sox, and then the Guardians, and then the Red Sox, and then the Yankees. So you have to win. In the next 6 games, got to win 4 minimum, and then continue to push as you go into the more difficult series. But folks, shocking moves came out. Not shocking because Erik Swanson was great, but shocking because they let go of him, and he was the main centerpiece of some big trades. Let me know down below what your thoughts are. You guys are beasts. Cheers.